I think the ideal woman at Furman would be someone who is a typical Southern belle.
Skinny, self-confident,
and super nice.
White, really involved, in someone who's in 10 organizations, the leader of all those organizations. Beautiful. Is really good at both academics and balancing that as well with her social life. Fancy clothing, dressed well.
Someone who's stick skinny,
who has a huge social life and somehow maintains, great grades throughout all of that. Tall.
Appealing to other people.
Put together.
Furman University has a reputation for students who are heavily involved and who succeed. This reputation is noticeably fulfilled throughout the campus, especially for women. It plays such an important role that the Counseling Center helps women who may not exceed all expectations.
At Furman, we would be thinking in terms of somebody who's very attractive, which would include probably being very thin, very athletic, very fit-looking, very perky, positive, upbeat, strong student, very involved in a lot of extracurricular activities, a well-rounded person in all dimensions except perhaps the physical, in which case she's not rounded much at all.
An ideal Furman woman has a lot of expectations to live up to, from school and grades to friends and other relationships, to organizations and extracurricular activities, to being physically healthy, active, and eating well. What goes into maintaining this perfect image?
I feel like people try really hard to maintain this image by trying to keep up appearances. So even if maybe they're not doing the best in class, they might tell their peers that they are, or they'll wear really nice clothing even if they can't afford it, or they'll eat the right things in the dining hall and tell their friends, like, oh, I'm eating a salad today because I need to stay skinny, or I'm not going to eat this cookie, or things like that.
I see women being very physically active, being very almost rigid with their eating and their exercise. And I also see them driving themselves very, very hard to achieve at high levels in whatever they're involved in, to be extremely committed.
Women at Furman seem to go to great lengths to maintain a certain perception. Not only do students notice, but adults around campus seem to know exactly how women believe they should be portraying themselves. The ideal Furman woman is everything that everyone wants to be: thin, active, fit, involved in the community, relationally happy, and successful, both in the classroom and outside of it. But is this actually possible to achieve?
I don't think this is attainable at all, honestly. For someone to have all this involvement and great grades and still have time for themselves and to be happy and have healthy friendships, I don't think it's attainable in any way. I think that some people are better at not letting it show more than others, but I think overall there is no ideal woman at Furman.
I would say 99% of the people, of women, are actually, their bodies are not going to fit into this cultural appearance ideal. We actually are presented with this cultural appearance ideal through the media, starting with very thin and likely that these thin women have disordered eating behaviors already. And then on top of that, they're photoshopped to be even thinner, and then to have certain places that are not thin, like butt and breasts. So you've got kind of this really thin waist, really thin thighs, and also large breasts and curves, which really is not possible for 99% of women.
Expectations for Furman students are very high, and women sometimes put more pressure on themselves than anyone else. There are ways for girls to feel successful and happy, away from being the typical definition of Furman University's ideal woman.
Really look carefully at what you truly want your life to look like, and to set the goals that you set for yourself on the basis of your own values and priorities, rather than on what you think and assume that other people expect of you.